Hi friends, from Simply Options, your Rosario. Today's topic is going to be a part 2, session 2 of F1 taxation. In part 1, we have already covered how F1 income is going to be taxed, how turnover for futures and option is calculated, and presumptive income, and it's all nuances. It's already been covered in part 1. Those who haven't watched part 1 yet, you can click the I button and you can watch part 1. In part 2, today's session, we will be covering two jumbo topics. One is tax audit, the other one how to use your loss, set off and carry forward of loss. These two topics we will be seeing in today's video. Come, let's go into today's session. Tax audit. Let's understand this complex topic by bisecting that into three major parts. One, we will see what is tax audit basically. Alright. 2. We will understand the turnover limits through a tabular format, flowchart along with examples. 3. In which situation presumptive income can induce tax audit. All these three segments we will see separately. Now, let's push these two and get into what is tax audit. Now, what is tax audit? It's very simple. Tax and audit. In order to file your income tax return, if you have to go through a CA person to audit your books of accounts and get it filed, that particular activity on the whole, it's known as tax audit. Alright, so which section governs tax audit? Section 44 AB of Income Tax Act clearly pronounces what are the rules for tax audit, what is the turnover for tax audit, who has to undergo tax audit through 5 subclauses. Let's understand all those not in a theoretical way, we will understand that in a tabular flowchart way with examples in our segment 2. Turnover limits for tax audit. Let's understand this through a tabular flowchart format. We will bisect this into two parts. Part 1, digital based transaction mode of business. For those businesses, the turnover limit for tax audit is 10 crores. So, for them it is very simple rule. More than 10 crores turnover, you are under tax audit. Less than 10 crore turnover, you don't have to undergo tax audit. Our F&O business will be classified as a digital mode of business. All our pay-in, payouts, GST, brokerage, everything is clearly documented through a digital mode. Okay, alright. What about non-digital cases? Because there are people who do other business, right? We will understand what is the tax audit implication for them. For them, let us bucket them into four buckets. Bucket 1. What if their turnover is more than 10 crores? Yes, they will be under tax audit. Okay. Bucket 2. Their turnover is more than 2 crores. Whether they will be under tax audit? Yes, they will be under tax audit. Because the rule is more than 1 crore if you have turnover for non-digital cases, you will have to be under tax audit. Now the other extreme, if your turnover is less than 1 crore, then obviously, right, if it is more than 1 crore, you will have to undergo tax audit. Less than 1 crore, you don't have to go through the tax audit. Now there is a in-between segment of 1 crore to 2 crore. This segment is like tax audit planning segment. If you ask me whether I will be have to undergo tax audit, the answer is yes and no. When no, if you are opting for 44 AD of presumptive section, if you are eligible candidate to opt it, if you are opting it, then you will be getting immunity against maintenance of books of accounts. When you don't even maintain books of accounts, there is no question of audit, you will get immunity against that also. So, if you are opting for 44 AD, then there is no audit. If you don't opt for 44 AD and report through a normal route, then if you are above 1 crore to 2 crore, you will be under tax audit. We will see quickly, we will see 2-3 examples to hit on the nail on these concepts. Some examples. Example 1, Mr. P.R. Sundar, whose turnover is 100 crores and he reports 20 crores net profit per annum. All digital transactions. Whether he will be under tax audit? The answer is simple, yes. His turnover is more than 10 crores. He will be under tax audit. Now, example 2, Mr. Rosario, whose turnover is 7 crores and he reports 30 lakhs as net profit. For the financial year 2021, whether he'll be under tax audit? The answer is no. Yeah. As we discussed, more than 10 crores I'll have to be under tax audit. Less than 10 crores will have to be, I don't have to undergo tax audit. The very simple reason why I gave 7 crores, even though I don't do 7 crores turnover, it's because there is a lot of ambiguity for the financial year 2021. There are so much of misguidance that the turnover limit for tax audit is only 5 crores. No, it is 10 crores. The finance bill for 2021 has clearly pronounced it is 10 crores and given retrospective effect from the current assessment year itself, it is applicable. So, for the current year, for the financial year 2021 itself, it is 10 crores. So, I will not have to undergo the tax audit. Now, example 3, it's going to be a very interesting example. Mrs. Alice, whose turnover is 90 lakhs and she reports 3 lakhs as profit. Now, question number 1, whether she can opt 44AD presumptive income. She is less than 2 crores, alright. But she didn't pass through the minimum profit margin of 8%. It's all cash transaction, let us assume. She didn't pass through the minimum 8% margin rule. So, she will be an ineligible candidate to opt for 44AD. Now, the bigger question, our area, whether she will have to undergo tax audit. If you think logically, she didn't report the minimum profit margin, right? Ideally, one has to go through the tax audit to file the return, right? No. The answer is big no. There is a big myth prevailing in the industry that one has to declare minimum profit margin to evade tax audit. There is no provision in 44AB which demands minimum profit margin reporting. So, if your turnover is less than 1 crore, that's the end of the story. You don't have to go through the tax audit. It's very simple. What if she makes loss? She is my sister only. The way she conducts business, the probability of ending up with loss will be high. She gives a lot of credit and all that. Jokes apart. Still, even if she declares loss, there is no minimum prescribed limit. So, even less profits or even if she declares loss, she doesn't have to undergo tax audit. That's the clear-cut answer I can give for the lot of misconception around this area. Example 4, Mr. Kohli, who is also a trader, his turnover is 2.5 lakhs, he reports 30 lakhs. Whether he will have to be undergo tax audit, all cash transactions. Yes, the answer is yes, more than 1 crore, all cash transaction, he has to undergo tax audit. What if I change the example to 1.5 crores turnover and 30 lakhs profit? Now here the answer is yes and no. If he goes through the normal route, more than 1 crore, he will have to undergo tax audit. If he opts for presumptive income, whether he can opt for presumptive income, his turnover is 1.5 crores, which is less than 2 crores. His profit is 30 lakhs out of 1.5 crores, which is 20%, which is greater than 8%. So he can very well opt for 44AD. Then he will get immunity against tax audit. Hope these examples clarify the tax audit rules.
Now we will see how 44AD can induce tax audit. This is also touched upon in our part 1. We are just putting the same clip again for your perusal.
Keynote number 2. This is going to be little tricky. Pay keen attention. There is a subclause 4 in 44AD. Okay. What the subclause says is, it basically says this. If you are availing this 44AD section, you are bound to be sticking with this particular 44AD for the next 5 years. Meaning, you should not jump between one mode of presumptive income reporting and then to a normal income reporting. You can't jump in between. So what it has said is, if you are doing presumptive income and next year if you are opting out of it, then you are banned for the next 5 years not to come back again for the presumptive income. Not only that, if you are opting presumptive income and then jumping out in the next year, then you are mandatorily, your books of accounts will go into tax audit.
Let us understand these with some examples. Example 1, Mr. Rajinikanth, who has opted for presumptive income in financial year 1920, and in current year 2021, financial year 2021, his turnover is 3 crores and his net profit is 4 lakhs. So whether he will be under tax audit? The answer is yes. Why? Because in the current year, his turnover is breached 2 crores, which is breaching the condition of greater than 2 crores of the presumptive income entry eligibility criteria. So that's why this will mandate him as if he has opted out of presumptive income. So which will automatically mandate tax audit. So now if we slightly change this question, if the turnover is only 2 crores, it's not 3 crores, whether the answer will change? No, the answer will still be that he will be under tax audit. It's because though his turnover is 2 crores, his net profit margin of 4 lakhs is only 2%, which is less than 6 or 8% on the respective categories. So the outcome is either of those two conditions, if you fail, you will be mandated for tax audit.
Fourth and final segment, set off and carry forward of losses. So you may ask, boss, I have made some losses in futures and options. Whether I can set off that loss against my other sources of income? If there is no other sources of income in the current year, can I take this loss to next year? How many years I can take it? So all those questions we will answer one by one. Well, for the first year, the current year, this futures and option losses, you can set it off against any inter-head except salary. All other heads you can set it off against it. For example, you have made a futures and options loss of say 8 lakhs, and on the same year you have received a rent of 2 lakhs. In other business you have made profits of 2 lakhs, and in salary you have got a salary of 4 lakhs. So totally you have 8 lakhs of losses, and you have another 8 lakhs of other incomes. Okay, so by bluntly, if you see 8 lakhs and 8 lakhs, you are sitting with zero income, right? But this futures and options losses, you can't set it off against salary. So due to which your income for that particular year, you can set off this, out of this 8 lakhs, you can set off this 8 lakhs losses, 2 lakhs against your rental income, 2 lakhs against your other business income. Both the things you can set it off, and this 4 lakhs is going to be a taxable income. The remaining 4 lakhs of unused losses, you can carry it forward. How many years you can carry it forward? You can carry it out forward for the next 8 years, because this income is going to be a non-speculative income. You are allowed to carry forward this particular loss, 4 lakhs extra loss, for the next 8 years. Alright, I have carried forward this 4 lakhs for the next, say for the next year. Next year also I have rental income 2 lakhs and I have another business income 2 lakhs. Can I use this entire 4 lakhs and set it off against it? No. From the next year, you can use this loss to set off only against business income. You can't, from the subsequent year, you can't use this loss to for the other head, you can't knock it off. From the next year, only if you have multiple business 1, business 2, business 3, all those business you can use this loss and set it off. But you can't go and set it off against rent or salary or any other head. That's the only difference. I hope we have understood the points clearly.
Example 2, Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he is a big bull. He has around 100 crores of short-term capital gains. He has invested in the March low, and now he is sitting with handsome of 100 crores of short-term capital gains. However, in F&O trading, he has made 100 crores of losses. So now the bigger question is whether F&O losses can be used against your equity gains. That's the bigger question. The answer is very well yes, you can use your F&O losses against your capital gains. The only place where you can't set off your losses against a particular interhead income is salary. All other head, it is clearly allowed for you to set off your losses. However, when you carry forward these losses for the next year, then there is a restriction. Only this has to be set off against any other business income. No other head is allowed.
We have now learned how to use our losses effectively. Against what head we can set off, how long we can carry forward. All those things we have learned. But what is the prerequisite to claim your losses? It's very simple. You just have to claim your losses and file your income tax return within the due date. Underline, within the due date you will have to file. It's all that you have to do. Most of them don't have this awareness. They think this year I have made loss, so I don't have to file income tax return. So the implication is next year you will not be eligible to use this loss if you make profit. That's the major implication. Hope you have got some awareness through this video. We will catch up very soon with the next video on options. That's what our channel name is. So these tax, since it's a tax season, we are shooting some tax videos. Next videos is going to be on options. Hope you will be liking that. Thank you. Catch you in the next video.